Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Stacey Varghese, and I'm the Director of Leadership Annual Giving and Engagement at St. John's University. Today, we have Craig Siegel, who will teach us how to adjust our mindset. As a reminder, please make sure to keep yourself on mute. If you would like to participate in discussion, please let me know in the comments section, and I will send you a request to unmute yourself. Lastly, a recording of today's session will be uploaded on the St. John's University's Alumni Professional Development page. Now, I'm excited to introduce our speaker. Craig Siegel is a value-based and high-energy keynote speaker, performance coach, entrepreneur, online band exploder, master elevator, host of the record-breaking podcast, The CLS Experience, and rising thought leader, as featured in Entrepreneur. Craig created Cultivating Last Symphony, CLS, a play on his initials, but what it means is to acquire the edge in life, to be able to revamp your mindset and expand your map of the world. There is no dream too big. Craig believes we are all here with a purpose, and it's our mission to identify it and make a massive impact. Welcome, Craig. I will hand the webinar over to you now.
Stace, thank you so much for the unbelievable intro. It's funny, I'm usually the one dishing them out on the podcast, but it feels great to be on the receiving end for a change. So I love that. Guys, we're going to get absolutely nuts today. Let's be super present. Present moment is the way to initiate a portal to expansion. So let's forget about everything else that's going on in the world right now, whether it be 30 minutes ago or what might be happening later today. Let's just be in this moment. Let's get absolutely crazy. As I always like to say, let's start out by putting in the chat right now what your current state is from 1 to 10. If it's a 6, that's totally fine. I take full accountability of elevating you to a 15 out of 10 by the time we're done here today. Let's not be shy. I want to see everybody's. Stays already at a 10. My goodness, tough crowd. Got to get you to a 15, no problem. And guys, let's not be shy. Let's all engage. Let's get absolutely nuts. Okay, good. All right. The most important thing in life, straight up, is mindset. It doesn't matter if you have the best strategies in the world. If you're not operating at a high frequency, if you're not vibrating on a good, positive, contagious level, then the best ideas in the world won't come to you. In addition, you won't be able to perform at the highest level. So what we want to do today, simply put, is take some tangible tools away that we can immediately start getting in control of our mind so that we can take action, inspired action, and do great things in the world. Okay? Spoiler alert. I know there's a lot of talk these days about things being canceled, like on social media and stuff. Here's what I want to cancel here today. Okay? Playing small is now canceled as of today. That means we have to think bigger. We have to exercise our imagination. We have to believe we are worthy of accomplishing anything that we want to do. And that's the way that we're going to accomplish it. Yes or yes? Drop a yes in the chat if you're with me so far. You guys on fire. Paige, yes. Okay, good. All right, guys. Also, we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. I'm going to give away a custom CLS journal, one of one, to the best takeaway from this call towards the end. And the best way to drop your takeaway is to text it to the CLS texting community, which is totally free. I'll drop the number in the chat. You'll get daily inspiration each and every single day regardless. But the best takeaway is going to get a custom journal, no big deal. So we're going to have some fun. Okay? Let's get started. Everybody's heard of the term ROI, right? Return on investment. That's great. Everybody wants to know what the return of their investment is going to be. I challenge you guys to think about a different equation. I challenge you guys to think about COI, which is the cost of inaction. Somebody please drop that in the chat if you can. COI. It's very important, guys. Think about this for a second, right? Is it scary to take a shot, to really dig deep, to identify what your gifts are? And spoiler alert, we're all here for a reason. We all have individual gifts. We're all unique and so forth. Is it scary to really take a shot and take a swing at life? Yes, it is. You know what's even scarier? To not take that shot, to wake up with regret, what ifs, to be unfulfilled, unhappy, and just coast. The cost of inaction is the highest price we will ever pay, period. Okay? And I'll give you guys an example. I'm not sure if you guys know my backstory, but I was on Wall Street for 12 years. Make a long story short, I was successful from a financial standpoint, but as I discovered, is making money doesn't necessarily equal success. Success is measured by how happy you are and how big of an impact you make, in my personal opinion. And the best part is depending upon which season you are in life, you may have a different definition of success, but that's what it means to me right now. The pandemic happened, and ultimately, for the first time in my life, I found myself grounded. I saw a lot of people doing a lot of Netflix and a lot of day drinking. I said, that's not going to be me. And at that moment, I asked myself the deep, powerful questions. And deep, powerful questions, guys, are sometimes more important and more significant than answers. I asked myself if I was really happy, if I was fulfilled, if I was making a dent in the universe, if I was making an impact. And the answer was no, I wasn't. I was waking up every day and it felt like I was going to a job, a job. I had just gotten out of a toxic relationship. My father had gotten diagnosed with cancer, and I was in a bit of a dark place. And so when the pandemic / lockdown happened, I found myself asking myself, why am I here? What is my purpose? What do we want to contribute to this world? And we're all here to contribute in some capacity. Even if you don't believe it right now, you will by the end of this call. So by digging deep, I realized that I had a strategy from studying personal development for so long. I asked myself what my passion is and also what my gifts are. My passion is my absolute love for personal development. I'm obsessed with it, in case you guys couldn't tell how jazzed I am to be here with you guys today, St. John's University. That's my passion. I love revamping the mindset, removing limiting beliefs, utilizing the law of attraction, and so forth. And my gifts, and hopefully you guys will agree, is my ability to communicate effectively. So I took that concept, I married the two, and I started my CLS brand, Cultivate Lasting Symphony, with a CLS experience. I said, I don't want to be the next Tony Robbins. I want to be the first Craig Siegel. But here's the thing. I had no online business experience. I had built 2 businesses on Wall Street to 8-figure juggernauts. That's all great. But as you guys can imagine, stepping into the online space is a whole different arena to be a gladiator in. But then it occurred to me, I was so miserable waking up doing something that I wasn't passionate about, even though I was a business owner, which I was grateful for. I said, what is my cost of inaction? Now that I finally have clarity, I have an idea. What is the cost of me not taking a shot? What is the cost of me realizing what could be and then deciding to go back? And the answer was, and this is going to sound pretty deep, guys, but I associated that with death. Straight up. Spoiler alert. Forget about like soul and spirit and religion and all that stuff. From a physical standpoint, this earthly experience, we only have a certain amount of time. We need to make the most of every single second to contribute, to be of significance, to make an impact in this world. And so it occurred to me that this is what I need to do. This is my purpose now. And I went all in. And I never looked back. And I'm very humbled to say the brand has exploded. We have one of the top 3 business podcasts on planet Earth. If you guys love inspiration, we interview some of the world's greatest celebrities and what it was like when they were at rock bottom, how to overcome obstacles and achieve success and so forth. And I'll drop it in the chat. Anywhere you guys listen to podcasts, a CLS experience. Coaching programs, membership, keynote speaking all across the world. I was in LA just yesterday. Actually, it was really this morning because I took the red eye. Speaking at an event and so forth. So I was able to finally find alignment and what I was here to do. And I was able to do that by really digging deep and asking myself the important questions. Am I happy? What would make me happy? What do I love? Right? And so I left Wall Street for good. I sold that business. And this is it for me in some capacity for the rest of my life. This is not work to me, guys. I genuinely love this stuff, in case you couldn't tell. So I could already hear the eye rolling, right? And I have to hear you guys saying, that's great, Craig. I'm glad that you were able to find clarity after 35 years, but how do I, right? Because a lot of people, they want to do great things, but they don't know how. They don't know what they love and so forth. So how do we identify clarity? Find out what it is that you love, what you're excited about. Find out what your gifts are, what you're good at. And if you're still not sure, I would challenge you to reach out to 5 or 10 of your closest friends or family and just ask them, hey, Susan, hey, Gary, what do you think I'm really good at? And then collect the data. There will definitely be some similarities. And then from there, at least we'll have some clarity on what it is that you're passionate about. And then it just comes down to strategies and tactics. If you guys are with me so far, give me a thumbs up. Could you guys be on any more fire? I love this. I love you guys. All right, good. The cost of inaction is the highest price that we can ever pay. All right. So when I decided to do this and really step into it, I realized that if I'm going to show up on social media, on stages and so forth, because I'm a big thinker, like if you're going to think, you might as well think big. I need to reinvent myself, but not just reinvent my career, not just pivot, because some of you guys might be in a great job right now, and that's totally fine. But I needed to reinvent my identity. In other words, how I show up in the world. What are the quality of my thoughts? Who are the circle of my friends, my proximity, right? How do I show up for myself? And so I identified and created my 3 R's. Okay? Redesign the mindset, re-energize your enthusiasm, and then reinvent your identity in this world. The 3 R's, baby. Alex, write those in the chat if you can. So here's where it gets really interesting, guys. What does that mean? Redesign your mindset. Okay. Backed by science, 70% of the thoughts that we get over the course of the day are actually negative. Nobody is exempt from this. That means the all-time greats, from Steve Jobs to Walt Disney to Michael Jordan to Tom Brady to anybody, every single day that they wake up, they have to combat negative thoughts. 70% of the thoughts are negative. It's a pretty big percentage. Okay? But here's the thing. Now we're mindful. Now we're aware of that. And that's the key, is to be aware. Okay? So now we have to create systems to block out the interference every day so that our thoughts can work for us and not against us. Our thoughts have to be empowering, so forth. Okay? So every time we wake up and we're feeling a little off, a little funky, a little weird, a little not ourself, say, thank you, universe. This is feedback, letting me know that my thoughts right now are disempowering. They're not serving me. You guys have all been there, right? You wake up, some days you're on fire, you can't be stopped. You want to do a backflip out of bed. Bring on the world. Other days, for whatever reason, it's like an uphill climb, right? You're looking up at problems as opposed to down at them. Instead of seeing opportunities, you see limitations and so forth. Everybody deals with this. The most effective people in the world, the ones that are super successful in anything they do, are the ones that have awareness and they're mindful of this. Okay, so Craig, this sounds great. How do we do something about it, right? Let me explain. Anytime we're feeling a little off and we're not ourselves, thank you, universe, for the feedback. Let me go in and let me remove the negative thoughts that are not serving us. And let us go back in and replace them with empowering thoughts, productive thoughts, constructive thoughts, thoughts that serve us, thoughts that scream, I am worthy. I can do this. I can't be stopped, in relationships, in business, whatever it is that you want to do. So now we go back in and we change our thoughts. The negative ones, get the hell out, like an intruder in your house. We implement positive ones. Now all of a sudden our frequency is a little bit higher. You guys know what a frequency is, right? Like a lot of spiritual people talk about frequencies, but you know those people, like when you're around them, like, oh my God, like that was 10 hours. That was awesome. I could do this all night. And then there's other people that they call like energy drainers, where it's like you're around them for 10 minutes, you want to take a nap, right? So by vibrating on a high frequency, you're sending that vibration out to the universe. You're available for great things to happen. And this all ties in the law of attraction, stuff like this. This is some pretty deep stuff, guys. All right, so now we're removing the limiting thoughts, the disempowering ones, and replacing the positive ones. Those new thoughts now create new beliefs. So instead of having these limiting beliefs that, by the way, we were not born with, we cultivated over time, whether it be from our parents, society, the news, whatever the case may be. Over time, we create these limiting beliefs that says, we're not worthy. We're not capable of greatness. We can't do great things. We can't run marathons. We can't start a business. We can't provide for a family. We can't find the right partner. Guys, we were not born with those thoughts. They came to us over time. But now we know that, right? So now by going in, by being in charge of our thoughts, we get to control which ones take up real estate inside our mind. So now we're injecting positive thoughts. Now all of a sudden, we have positive beliefs. Those positive beliefs lead to positive behaviors and habits, which are the key to everything. Those new beliefs and habits now create brand new results in your life. So when I say the first R is redesigning your mindset, it's as simple as being aware that we often have negative thoughts and then being able to do something about it by replacing them with positive thoughts, which create new beliefs and therefore new behaviors and new results. If you guys are with me so far, write I dig in the chats. Stace. I love it. All right, good. And guys, if you haven't already, texted the CL. I see most of you guys already texted the CLS community, so you can get in. We can do the free journal giveaway, and then also every morning inspirational texts. Love it, totally free. Just text that number, the word St. John's. All right, guys, moving forward now. So that's the first R. And guys, I'm telling you this story, and I'm like dipping into some things that happened to me when I reinvented myself and so forth. But what I want you guys to know is that these tools are universal. They're applicable for anything that you want to do in your life. And I find that from speaking all over the world now, a lot of people right now are not where they thought they might be at this point in time. Show of hands if that's you, and it's totally fine. I love the vulnerability and the transparency, guys. Thank you for that. Okay? So the tools that we're going over is how to reinvent yourself in this world. And it doesn't take 5 years. Trust me. 2 years ago this time, I was miserable. I had no clue what I wanted to do. The pandemic had just begun. I knew I didn't want to go back to my office, and I was figuring things out. Once I got into alignment and I made myself available for the abundance of the world, everything changed. And you could ask Stacy. She knows me pretty well, guys. The brand has exploded. And I don't tell you that to brag. I'm telling you that to let you guys know anything and everything is there for you when you're ready to receive it. It's about getting in the right frequencies to make yourself available for all the abundance out there. And guys, this could be straight up to lose 20 pounds, to find the right partner, to start a business, to pivot careers. It's for anything. But these are absolutely priceless. But remember one thing that we already discussed. This only works if we all work. Don't forget about the COI, the cost of inaction. All right? So now moving on to the second R, re-energize. Now it's time to get excited again about life. And oftentimes what I see, guys, is that people lose this spark, right? The flame that burns inside all of us gets a little bit dimmer. It's happened to all of us at some point. So how do we re-energize that, right? So here's the thing. Now that we're redesigning our mindset, we're removing the limiting beliefs. They no longer have access to take up real estate inside our minds, and we're replacing them with positive thoughts. Now we can do great things. We have new beliefs such as, I am worthy, right? And someone write that in the chat, please. I am worthy. That's a very powerful mantra to say to yourself, okay? Now we're time to get excited. Now we put together a strategy. We want to lose 20 pounds. We want to run a marathon. We want to become our best self. We want to show up as our highest self in the world, right? So for all those of you that are saying, well, but how? I've been in this rut for so long. Here's a great exercise, guys. I want you to write down, not right this second, but remember this exercise over the course of the day. And you'll have it forever. How would the highest version of you show up in this world? Paige, Christian, Stacy, like, how would the highest version of you hypothetically show up in this world? What time would you wake up? What excuses would you lose, right? What fears would you lean into as opposed to running away from? What would be the quality of your thoughts? I think it's safe to say you would change your thoughts from disempowering to positive now. Paige, I see you in the community. Welcome. All right, guys. So now it's time to get excited about life again, right? People always ask me like, Craig, what are you on? Can I bottle that up? And I'm like, guys, like I spent 35 years essentially trying to find myself in this world. When I was able to really quiet the noise and ground myself and be mindful and figure out why I'm here, my purpose, everything changed for me. I've lived more in the last year and a half than I lived in the previous 35 combined. I love this stuff. If I had $1 billion in the bank, which I don't yet, I would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, specifically speaking to you guys at the phenomenal and iconic St. John's University. I love this stuff. It's not work to me. And that's what I want for you guys, whatever that looks like for you. All right, so now we're re-energized. We're excited. We're starting to see possibilities where we once saw limitations. Now it's time to reinvent our identity in this world. Okay. And I talk about reinvention a lot. It's the core message of CLS because I was able to do it so effectively. And I know everybody else can too. And just to be clear, I want to reiterate, it doesn't have to be a pivot in your career. It's a reinvention in your upgrade. It's saying after this call here today, Craig said something to me that really spoke to my soul. I know I'm here for more. I know there's more that I can do, right? I know I'm here for a bigger reason. I know I'm here to make an impact, contribute to this world. That's reinventing your identity. Just realizing that will change everything for you guys. Now, I'm going to give you guys a really, really, really deep, powerful exercise. I've never publicly done this before, but it's something that I've been working over a lot, my own personal journaling, and I want you guys to have it here today. Okay? This is called the CLS Razor's Edge. This is the difference that makes the difference. I'm excited to go over this with you guys right now. Okay? If you guys want more in life, whether that be more love, more abundance in any capacity, to do more, to be more, anything of the sort, more abundance across the board, drop a yes in the chat. You guys are on fire. You can't be stopped. Hell yes. Okay, good. Okay. So now let me ask you this. Are you interested in more abundance, better relationships? And just to be clear, that doesn't mean like divorcing and getting a new one if you're married. It just means like strengthening a relationship, right? If you want that, if you want more money, if you want to be more physically fit, look like your best self, are you interested in that? Or are you committed to that? Let's let that resonate for 10 seconds. I'm really jazzed right now. This is really exciting, guys. I know for a fact, if you guys apply this, your life will change forever. I know that because it changed for me. The difference between being interested and being committed is this. How many people do you guys know? You might even be guilty of being it yourself. I know I am. Starting a New Year's resolution, saying, I'm going to go to the gym or something of the sort. 3 weeks later, you're done. Or committing to waking up 20 minutes earlier a day so you can journal, meditate, sharpen the axe, listen to a podcast, specifically the CLS experience, read anything. And then next week, let me hit snooze. Okay? This is the difference that makes the difference in the world for your success, whatever success means to you. You have to be in a bit of a hurry. Those that are interested will fail at the first sign of adversity or obstacles or challenges. The ones that are committed will see this through even on the days that they don't have it. That's the difference between the greats, the legends in any field, in anything that they do, and the people that just coast and sadly are forgotten about. Do you guys want to just coast it? Do you guys want to leave a damn legacy? Whatever that means. Be remembered, do something special, be of significance. I imagine it's the latter. This is the difference that makes the difference. And ask yourself, are you interested to applying these tools here today, or are you committed? This is really deep stuff. I want to take it a step further. Surface level talk is cute. but I like to go deep, guys, because that's where the magic happens. Okay? I want you to think of someone that you absolutely love. Could be a person or it could be a pet. Somebody that you would never want to live without. You don't have to write it in the chat, but give me a thumbs up that you have someone in mind. Okay, good. You guys are on fire. I love you guys. So there's that. Okay, that's part one. Now, if you set out to double or triple your income over the next 12 months, let's just say that's your goal. It doesn't have to be money, but let's just use this as an example. This is part two. You set out to double or triple your income over the next 12 months. Maybe it's lose 20 pounds. Maybe it's find the right partner. But let's just use this for an example. That's your goal. Now imagine this scenario is true. If you don't remove your limiting beliefs, upgrade your mindset, improve your self-image, upgrade your identity, let go of all the fears holding you back. If you don't let them go, the stories, the traumas, the obstacles, you will never see that person you love ever again on the 12 months from right now date. So you have 12 months to hit this goal. You'll never see that person again. You don't know if they're alive or dead. You'll never see them again. Now imagine that's a true scenario for a second. What would you do today to get busy? What would you set out to learn? Whose help would you ask for? What would you let go of? What planning would you do? What excuses would you release? What would you do if that scenario was true? For those of you that are saying, shit, I would do anything. Well, that's the CLS Razor's Edge. Now, what if you live like that for a week, a month? There's no question that you would hit that goal, because that's the difference between being interested and being committed. If you're committed, you'll do absolutely anything legally, ethically, and professionally to conquer that goal. At the very thought of never seeing that person that you love ever again, you would show up as a higher version of yourself. You would ask for help. You would wake up a little bit earlier. You would eat a little bit healthier. You would do whatever it takes to become the best version of you to show up in this world so you could hit that goal and not obviously lose the person that you love. This is how you go all in life. That's the razor's edge, guys. And let me just be clear, like, the stuff that we're talking about today is very deep, like removing limiting beliefs, acknowledging that we usually have negative thoughts, how to change them, make them more empowering, and so forth. If you want to just coast through life and just keep doing what we're doing, that's totally fine, guys, 100%. But if you guys want to do something really special, and it doesn't take 2 to 3 years to get going, it takes this conversation to strike a chord. If you want to play at the pro level, right, like the Olympic gold medal team of life, then this is the difference. Are you interested or are you committed? This is some pretty deep stuff. Pivoting for a second. There's a lot of talk out there specifically these days about the law of attraction. You guys familiar with that? Raise your hand. Cool. The law of attraction is really cool. It is. But one thing that's missing from the law of attraction, a lot of people talk about, are the last 6 letters of the word attraction. And that's action. Right? The law of attraction is not going into a corner and meditating and saying, I want a Lamborghini in my driveway tomorrow. It's not how it works. We actually have to facilitate and activate the law of Goya, which stands for get off your ass. Right? We actually have to make moves to take action. Think about this for a second. When the monks sit and pray and they activate the spiritual realm, They're not just sitting there doing nothing, praying for things to happen. They're also in action, activating the physical realm, right? So now along the way, when you're thinking, praying, meditating, feeling, hoping, and doing, unbelievable things happen to you because you're in coherence with that with which you were seeking, because it is seeking you and you're in flow. Now, what's the key word I said there? When you're thinking, praying, meditating, feeling, hoping, and doing, unbelievable things happen to you. Guys, we're about 30 minutes into that, and I gotta tell you, we went over so many things. You guys don't even realize, like, this is really deep stuff. Really, really deep stuff. The stuff that we've jam-packed so far, and we're gonna go for about another 15 minutes, is straight up the difference that makes the difference in this world. In case any of you guys didn't join the CLS texting community, I texted the number in the chat one more time. Daily inspirational messages that we all need, guys, and also we're going to do the giveaway for the journal. It's great stuff. So I'd love to just see real quickly in the chat, because I love to engage, guys. That's what makes a beautiful conversation. What is one great takeaway that you guys have so far? Drop something in the chat so I know you guys are with me. I know we did a lot of stuff. Wow, I love it, Paige. Stace, do I have the ability to call on someone or no?
Yes, you can call on someone, and then what I could do is request them to unmute.
Can we get a little frisky right now? Can I call on Paige?
Yeah, sure.
She knew I was coming for her.
1 second. All right, Paige.
How you doing?
I'm good. And you?
I'm doing great. I love how engaged you are in this conversation. That's what it's all about. You're here for a reason, and I can guarantee that you're going to get some great stuff out of this. So you mentioned your favorite takeaway so far is COI, the cost of inaction. I'm going to ask you to be very brave right now and courageous. Understand that this is a safe place. Be vulnerable and transparent. What is it that you're not doing right now that you know you should be?
Ooh. I feel like I'm always running and doing, so sometimes it's taking just that time to myself and prioritizing that. I don't do that very well. Like I find little things, but it feels like I'm always running around and doing stuff to fulfill for other people.
So it sounds like you're a little bit more busy than productive.
At times it can feel that way.
Yeah. Okay. So what needs to be done to change that?
Comes down to slowing down, and making my priorities clear. It's hard.
Yes.
I love what I do for work, but I am definitely a workaholic. So it's finding that balance.
Yeah, it's finding that alignment. Thank you for sharing that. And it's something that I can relate to personally, because for years, that was me. Go, go, go. Literally, especially being in Manhattan as a business owner, it's like this. And when I finally took the time to just reassess and quiet the noise, and let me be transparent, the pandemic kind of provided that opportunity. Otherwise, I might still be going like a chicken with his head cut off. But then I got really silent and I paid attention. And I said, in order for me to have addition, I need to have subtraction, right? I need to actually remove some things from my plate right now that aren't really in my best interest or serving me. And this is going to sound kind of deep, but that could even mean some relationships, right? Like you want to be around, I know Stace knows this, you want to be around high vibe, good energy, positive, supportive cats. And we all know those other types where you see their number calling you in the caller ID and you're like, oh, what now, right? Or something like that. Now, I know this can be challenging if it's a family member or someone close to you, but I would challenge you to be very intentional with who you surround yourself with. Keep that energy going in good flow state. And I'm proud of you for sharing that today. And I think the best lesson to take out of that is to really take some time for yourself and reassess and say, what things can I actually remove from my plate right now so that I can perform at my utmost potential and really be optimal in my day-to-day.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just remember this. If you don't take time for that, what is your COI?
Not doing stuff for myself. Like they're just, you know, your the consequences, your mental health, your physical health.
Yeah, that's right. And we only live once, right?
YOLO.
I love it. Yeah, great stuff. So good. So I'm going to check on you in the next couple of days since you're in the community now. All right, good. We're going to pivot, guys, for a second. It's so important that we have purpose in life. Purpose and goals are the bloodline for a meaningful life. I'll give you guys an example. About 7 or 8 months ago, while training for the Chicago Marathon, I was at a big speaking engagement. And before speaking, a bunch of the guys were playing football on the beach. Never a good idea. So I come down hard on my ankle, and I think my foot's broken. So I come home, and it gets misdiagnosed as a sprained ligament. All while I really want to run that Chicago Marathon. You know, it was canceled from the pandemic, and, you know, I wanted to be a gladiator and really do well. So it comes home, it's misdiagnosed. I facilitated an MRI. Turns out there was no sprained ligament. They identified and located a tumor in my foot. Shook me up. And let me be clear, the old Craig of 2 or 3 years ago would have had a pity party. Victim mentality. But now I understand that life happens for us, not to us. Sometimes it's hard to identify why in the moment, but just carrying that mantra for life, knowing that whatever's happening is happening for us, and it's actually protecting and propelling us, is a great way to live, because then you'll never have that victim mentality. So I got the surgery, came back benign, thank God, but I had a hole in my foot, crutches, stitches, the whole nine. Stacey might remember this if you were following the journey and so forth. So the Chicago Marathon was not going to be doable. It was in a couple weeks, and I still had stitches in my foot. But then all of a sudden, I started thinking, what about the New York City Marathon? It's only a couple weeks after, and instead of running this one for myself, what if I do it to inspire my pops, who's currently battling cancer, and also for a much bigger reason than Craig, to raise money for American Cancer Society? So I signed up. Everyone kept asking me, do you think you'll be able to finish? You have no physical training. You can't just get up and run 26.2 miles. I refused to make a prediction because it wasn't about the performance. It was about showing up and just being grateful to get to the start line. And I knew that I was doing this for a much bigger reason. I had purpose to inspire my dad and everyone that's been affected with cancer in some capacity, which is basically everybody. Day comes, I run that thing like you wouldn't believe. I felt like I was flying. I was in another dimension. Ran the fastest I ever ran in my life for a marathon, 3 hours and 39 minutes. The reason being, guys, and this wasn't like a story to boast about a PR in a marathon. The reason being is because I had a gigantic purpose and a goal. And a lack of physical training wasn't going to prevent me, if healthy enough. I would never sabotage, my body. If I was healthy enough to get to the start line, I had a purpose to inspire my dad and to raise money for public enemy number one, which is cancer. And I ran as fast as I ever could in my life. And the only reason that was achievable is because I was so driven and purposeful with that particular experience. And so the lesson here is that nothing can help the person with no purpose and no vision. And on the flip side, nothing can stop the person with a definite purpose and vision. And if you don't have that today, that's okay. We talked about some ways to get clarity earlier on in the conversation. Purpose is the bloodline, guys. When we talk about being interested or being committed, when you're purposeful and you take inspired, meaningful action towards a goal, towards a purpose, towards a commitment, that's the difference between being interested and being committed. Purpose gives us life. There are stories where goals and purpose will keep somebody alive when nothing else will. Straight up. So if you don't have 100% clarity on your purpose here today, that's okay. But what I would encourage you guys to do is to begin to cultivate purpose and to begin to brainstorm and figure out why you're here and what you want to do with your life, what kind of impact you would like to make, how would you like to contribute. And when you can identify that purpose, which I had when I started CLS, which I attribute to the meteoric rise, and which I had when I ran that marathon after surgery and having a tumor in my foot just a couple months later with no physical training, is because I was very purposeful. And the universe likes that. Now you combine that with persistence, forget about it. There is no substitute for persistence. Failure cannot cope with persistence. All right, guys? So purpose, persistence, and being committed as opposed to being interested in anything that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to do for the rest of today. Maybe you have a meeting in an hour. Maybe you're meeting a friend for coffee. Maybe you're just brainstorming, putting together ideas for the next move in your life. Whatever the case may be present, be aware, be purposeful, and don't just be interested, be committed. And I promise you, the universe will open up doors for you. They will create opportunities. There's just no way that they can't. That's how the world works. And remember this, on the days that you're not feeling it, I'm going to give you 2 strategies on how to get through that. Number 1, revert back to your mindset training now, staying mentally fit. If you're feeling weird or off, it's because you have disempowering thoughts. Acknowledge them, say thanks for coming, get the hell out, and then trade them with more empowering, positive, constructive thoughts. Those new thoughts will now create new beliefs, new habits, and new results. Bang. So there is literally no excuse to have a bad day ever again. It's okay to have a bad moment, but no more weeks, months, days. Because now we know it's just our thoughts. And the other way to push through on days that we don't have it is to revert back to your habits and rituals. Do you have a schedule in the morning? Do you have a morning routine? Do you like to work out first thing in the morning? Do you like to pray, meditate, journal, whatever the case may be? On the days that you don't have it, revert back to that, and you'll be able to push through. All right, guys. This was too much fun. I genuinely love this. I'm going to also drop a free giveaway that I created for you guys, which is a little bit of a toolkit, which will help you facilitate goals and how to revamp your mindset on command. It's totally free just for you guys. I dropped the link in the chat. Just put your name in and we'll send it to you right away. It's very important, guys. You know, if you want to be physically fit and all that stuff, you got to work out, eat right. The most important thing to do in life is to stay mentally fit. It's the difference that makes the difference. Are you interested or are you committed? What is the cost of inaction? So many nuggets today. This was too much fun. If you guys want to follow along, I know this replay is going to be sent out to a lot of people as well. You guys can listen to the CLS Experience podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you guys are on social media, come find me. Craig Siegel _CLS on Instagram, Craig Siegel anywhere. And obviously the texting community. I'll turn it over back to you, Stace, but this was so much fun. I genuinely love you guys. We have a relationship. We've done some other stuff in the past. St. John's is family to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed today.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And a special thank you to Craig for such an inspiring presentation. For Craig's complete bio, please go to stjohns.edu/APD series. For those of you who are graduates of the last decade, I would like to introduce you to the Gold Program, an affinity group open to all alumni who have graduated from St. John's University within the last 10 years. Gold serves as an outlet for recent grads to connect with one another in an environment that fosters career advancement, network expansion, and philanthropical awareness. If you are interested, please email me. And also please follow Craig on all his social media accounts. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Take care, everyone.